Morning. How's everybody doing? This might be a little rambling today because I got a bunch of shit floating around in my head. I talked a little bit in some other videos about uh, resentments, things like that. Um, and sometimes as alcoholics and addicts, we punish ourselves through our resentments, you know, justified or not. In the end, as far as I'm concerned, there's no justified resentment because all it's going to do is lead to me getting drunk. You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Relapse is not a requirement of sobriety. Um, but we have these resentments. We have things, perceived wrongs that have been done to us or other things. And, we carry those with us and allow them to fester and eat at us and chip away at our sobriety and our quality of life, if you will. You know, um, and you really shouldn't have to pay a penance for having a resentment. As far as if something was done to you and you feel justified in your anger, you shouldn't be paying a price, but that's what you do. um I was molested as a child, and I held a resentment for a very, very long time. Long into sobriety, I held this resentment. And in the end, I finally realized that the only person suffering for it was me. you know the the person involved wasn't suffering. I guarantee you they weren't thinking about it every day. So all I did was pay a penance for my resentment. And then finally there was somebody that got involved in my sobriety. That I listened to a lead one night, and this guy talked about his past and was very, very open and honest. And afterwards I asked him, how did he do that? How could you stand in a room full of strangers and bare your soul? And he told me, I have to. It's the only way that I stay sober. And ever since that day, um, my life changed, and I was able to be open about it and talk about it. And then once I was able to talk about it, I was able to accept it. And then once I accepted it, it was nothing anymore. All those years of anger and hatred melted away. And it still took me a while to learn forgiveness. Um, and then I finally learned that forgiveness is not for the person. It's for me. And I was able to forgive that person, and I no longer carry that hatred in my heart. um it's just, it is what it is. So those resentments did nothing for me other than keep me out there drinking as an excuse. And that's the thing, is when you harbor a resentment and you let it live and gain strength and substance in your brain, the only person that you're hurting is yourself. But the other thing is all you're doing is creating an excuse. you know my resentments were my excuse to get drunk. If what happened to me happened to you, you'd be fucking drinking too. So really, when we hold these resentments, justifiable or not, that's up to you to decide. I don't think there's such a thing, really. But all you're doing is giving yourself an excuse for bad behavior. Once you let go of those resentments, you let go of that excuse. Now you got no reason to do the things that you do. And for some of us, that's why we don't want to get rid of a resentment. Because if I can't look at you and say, well, if what happened to me happened to you, you drink too, I have no excuse to be drinking the way that I do. And I don't drink like other people. I don't function like other people when it comes to drugs and alcohol. It's like the old saying, and I know it's very cliche, but one's too many and a thousand's not enough. That's what it is for me. There's not enough booze, there's not enough drugs, in my area to sustain my lifestyle if I'm doing that. So if you've got resentments that you keep hanging on to, find a way to let them go. Talk to, a priest, talk to a drunk, talk to your wife, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other. Um, try to be politically correct here. But talk to somebody. Get rid of that shit. The men are not punished for their sins. They're punished by their sins, if that makes any sense. Um, That's not an original thought. I heard that somewhere at one point through my recovery as well. But it's amazing what happens in sobriety. I talked about this the other day, and the gifts that sobriety has given me. You know, I'm able to appreciate those now. I'm able to see those now. Before I couldn't see or appreciate the miracles that happened in my life because it just wasn't open or willing. And the miracle is that I'm alive today with everything that I did. you know it's just insane the things that we go through in active addiction. So, like I said, if you're harboring a resentment, get rid of that shit. That ain't doing you no fucking good. You know, don't be punished by your sins. That's it is what it is. You know. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great holiday season. All the time leading up to the holidays is just as stressful as the holidays themselves for addicts and alcoholics. We get put into situations we don't necessarily want to be in. So I hope everybody has a great day. I hope this wasn't too rambling for you. Love you all. Bye.